Card Kaizoku uploaded a new video! Video.
Card Kaizoku.
This video is sponsored by Card Market, Europe's largest online marketplace for trading card games. OP08 Kaido and Linlin is a controversial card. With the upcoming release of OP08, people have been split into two camps. Those who want this card banned, and those who don't want this card banned. In this video, we will analyze the ins and outs of the card and come to a conclusion ourselves. So, OP08 Kaido and Linlin, otherwise known as 10 cost Kaido and Linlin, otherwise known as OP08 Kaido and Linlin, is a 10 cost purple card from OP08 in the Big Mom Pirates and Animal Kingdom Pirates and 4 Emperors type. They cost 10 Dawn and have a when attacking ability that activates regardless of your leader's type. What they do is when attacking, if you return 10 Dawn to your Dawn deck, you KO every other character on board. Then add 1 life card from the top of your deck to your life area, and your opponent puts the top card of their life into the trash. This means every other character dies and you heal 1 life, while your opponent loses 1 life. Okay, but for real, we're actually gonna analyze this card. What the heck? I wasn't even supposed to upload a video today. I've actually been taking like 2 days off a week recently, in case you haven't noticed. But yeah, talk about power creep, right? This is OP01 Kaido's ability plus OP03 Charlotte Linlin's ability combined into 1 card for the same cost. Now, the most important caveat is that Kaido and Linlin have to attack to use this effect, so it's not an immediate effect like their on-play counterparts. Does this balance the card? Well, let's think about it. So it's a 10 Dawn investment for a 12k body. That does meet the vanilla standard already, but so did the OP01 and OP03 versions of the card, so I don't think I can give it points for that. It met the bare minimum. Okay, so OP01 Kaido kills any immediate threat, and you only have to contend with the enemy's leader afterwards. And it's only minus 6 Dawn too, so you're back up to 6 Dawn on your next turn. 7 if you run the stage card. And you're restricted to animal pirates. You have to be an Animal Kingdom Pirates type leader. OP03 Charlotte Linlin heals you for 1 life and makes your opponent trash a life. This heal could bring you out of lethal range and sets up your opponent to finish them off the turn after. But again, you have to be a Big Mom Pirates type leader to use this. So these are 2 potentially game-changing, state-altering effects that can activate immediately as an on-play ability. But again, with the caveat that they're leader locked too. So right off the bat, Kaido and Linlin, they're not leader locked, you can use it with any leader. Now, do these effects, even though they're combined, still hold up as a when attacking ability? Well, first and foremost, playing OP08 Kaido and Linlin doesn't change the game state in any way the turn you play them. If you're going to die the next turn anyway, playing this card does nothing to save you. Also, passing the turn means your opponent has the chance to respond. Cards like Gum Gum Red Rock and Raigo can just straight up kill Kaido and Linlin. They'll even have 4 Dawn left over to utilize for their turn, because these cards only cost 6. Sakazuki can do like Ice Age plus Helmappo and then a 2 cost removal effect to kill Kaido and Linlin. Red Purple Lock can play like 3 Gordons and then use his leader ability to bottom deck them. But yeah, that does require 3 cards to remove, so it's not too likely they'll be able to do it, at least not back to back, you'd hope. Now, is there any inherent synergy in combining these 2 effects? I would argue yes. One of the weaknesses of OP03 Linlin is that even if you heal 1 life, if your opponent still has a wide board, they can still blitz you down the turn after. Likewise for OP01 Kaido, even if you clear the board, your opponent can still attack you with their leader afterwards, so if you're at 0 life, you're still dead in the water. OP08 Kaido and Linlin kind of fixes that. Since you clear the board, only your opponent's leader can attack back, unless they have like rush characters they can play. But yeah, it just so happens that we healed 1 life with the second part of the effect, which we can use to tank the leader hit with. So it kind of saves us from that. There's even offensive synergy in this card as well. If your opponent only has 1 life and has a bunch of chump blockers out, a swing from Kaido and Linlin can potentially win you the game. Right? The effect clears all the chump blockers out of the way, unless they're playing like OP02 Borsalino or cards under that OP04 Sabo's on play effect that makes them immune to KO. But yeah, other than those blockers, as you attack, your opponent loses their last life prior to having to defend your 12k swing from Kaido and Linlin. And then this would take 7 to 8k counter from hand to defend against, depending on what base power their leader is. So you do have a pretty good chance of winning after swinging with this card too. So now the question is, what do we do with the 10 Dawn for our turn before we have to return them to our Dawn deck? Since this is a when attacking ability and not an on play, we had to wait a turn, right? So now we have 10 Dawn to utilize. So for any mono purple leader, your only option is probably just to attach Dawn to characters and your leader to swing with. And I guess there's like Mino Chihuahua as a rush option. But things get a little more interesting with dual color leaders. So for purple and black, you could actually drop cards like OP03 Fukuro or Starter Deck 6 Smoker the same turn you attack with Kaido and Linlin. These two cards are immune from the KO effect of Kaido and Linlin, so they would actually remain on board still. Similarly, OP04 Sabo can apply this effect onto any character you can play with the remaining 5 Dawn for your turn. So this combination gives you a board to work with afterwards while your opponent loses theirs. For purple and red, you can play rush cards like EB01 Kid and Killer to get a few more attacks in before losing all of your Dawn for the turn. One leader that may be especially synergistic with Kaido and Linlin is Red Purple Luffy. You can either go offensive and play a big rush card like OP07 Dragon or Starter Deck 10 Luffy to get a very nice swing in, or you can go the defensive route and play OP02 Edward Newgate to buff your leader to 8k until your next turn. Then after you return 10 Dawn with Kaido and Linlin, you can actually use your leader ability to ramp back up to 1. And then on your next turn, you go up to 3 and you can play OP08 Black Maria to ramp you 5 rested Dawn. This will bring you to 8 Dawn total, and then you can use your leader ability to ramp you to 9 as well. As long as your opponent has more Dawn than you, you get to keep all the Dawn you just ramped. So now you're ready to play another 10 drop the turn after. For purple yellow, the only thing I can think of is OP05 Enel. You'll lose the life that you healed with Kaido and Linlin to keep Enel on board. For purple green, I guess you could play cards like OP06 Arlong to prevent even your opponent's leader from attacking you the turn after. For purple and blue, I guess you could just play cards like Sanji's Pilaf for the turn and refill your hand. So we've established that this card is not an instant comeback from death card, but the effect of the card is incredibly strong and is an insane tempo swing. That would mean playing them out ASAP when you're more healthy is the best way to play the card, right? So which leaders can play them out the quickest? There's 3 in particular that I'd like to highlight in this video. For Red Purple Luffy, going second, you can do turn 1, 2 Dawn. Turn 2, you'll go up to 4 Dawn, you can play Mr. 2 to ramp to 5, and then pass. Turn 3, you'll be at 7 Dawn. At this point, you don't need to play any more ramp. Or if you missed the ramp last turn, you can do that now, to 7 from 6. Then on your 4th turn, you'll be at 9 Dawn, and you can use your leader ability to ramp to 10 this way. Then from that point onward, you can do that Black Maria shenanigan I mentioned earlier. For Purple Luffy, going first, you can do turn 1, 1 Dawn, pass. Turn 2, 3 Dawn. Use your leader ability to ramp to 4. Play Mr. 2, which ramps you to 5, and then you can pass. Turn 3, you'll be at 7 Dawn. You can play Polly, use his effect to ramp to 8, then pass. And then turn 4, you'll naturally go to 10 Dawn. You'll only need to use your leader ability once this way, thanks to Mr. 2. So you'll be at 4 life, back up to 5 after Kaido and Linlin heals you. You can actually do the Black Maria thing too if you use your leader ability to ramp to 3 afterwards. For Pudding, OP08 Pudding going second. On your first turn, you'll be at 2 Dawn. On your second turn, you'll be at 4 Dawn. You can play Mr. 2 to ramp to 5. Use your leader ability as you swing to ramp to 6 and then pass. Turn 3, you'll go up to 8 Dawn and you can just pass from this point because you'll hit 10 Dawn on your 4th turn. Pudding can also do the Black Maria thing if you can flip your face-up life cards back face down or take any of those face-up life cards as damage before you activate Kaido and Linlin's effect. These are the 3 leaders who have generic ramp effects built into their leader ability, which makes it way more consistent to ramp to 10. Okay, so this started out as a shitpost video, but I actually went into the card more than I thought I would. What do you guys think of OP08 Kaido and Linlin, aka 10 cost Kaido and Big Mom, aka OP08 Kaido and Linlin? I think it's a really neat card, and I would actually welcome more combo cards like this with older card effects in the future. Power creep has been on the rise since OP05, so these combination cards seem like a nice way to make some of the nostalgic, cool, older card effects that we liked from the early sets playable again. So yeah, I would love to see more like this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and then subscribe to the channel while you're at it if you're not already. Okay, bye.
Card D Kaizoku.